And so you guys arrive at the forest, and there's a bunch of trees around. And of course, you see some wisps of fire flying over some trees coming from one direction, and then you see an ice storm form right over top of where the fireballs had started. So that seems to be focused right about in there. But you can't really see what's going on.
I suggest that we approach with care, try and get a view of what's going on before we actually be seen.
You're saying stealthing?
About as stealthy as a dwarf in chainmail can be.
I can be pretty stealthy.
Kaleni, you look as though in this environment you could sneak quite adeptly. What say we advance a little bit closer, and then you move ahead to see what you can see for us?
Would be my pleasure.
Good plan, Solaron. And I'll drink to that, and I'll have a quick swig of wine while nobody's looking.
Alright, so we advance closer and then we'll part ways for a bit.
Sounds good. So how about the rest of us head over to this clump of trees here, and then you sneak off from there?
Alright.
Well, I suppose so.
I already took off running to the clump of trees.
Oh, wait up!
You guys will catch up easily, because I'm a little halfling.
Well, I'm a little gnome. I would have had some trouble.
Alright. Anything you want me to look out? Anything you want me to look out for particularly?
No, just let us know what's going on ahead. We wouldn't want to walk into that ice storm or whatever's going on in there. We'll just wait here and guard this keg of ale.
Alright, sounds good. Can you point me in the direction one more time of where exactly?
Well, this time you see a lightning bolt strike over there. So
okay, that's where I'm gonna go.
Here, this is the lightning bolt.
Alright. I'm going to start darting from tree to tree and try to sneak quietly up ahead.
So when you get to about there, you notice a bunch of random animals, and there's even one goblin in with them, running that direction.
Oh, this is going to be fun. I'm going to keep trying to quietly move ahead. I want to see what they're running from.
Find a nice tree line over there.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to, as best I can, make my way to the trees.
Okay. Sure. Never had people actually try and just sneak through the tree line before. I'll allow that. That makes sense. It's not like it's solid wall in this part. So you kind of find this natural path that curves back into the tree line. It seems to be going off kind of like that. Mm-hmm. You're hearing all sorts of crazy explosions up ahead. Once you get up to this clearing here, you can peek out through the top of it, and you can see a couple of tower tops sticking out above the woods.
Okay. I'm gonna keep advancing. I wanna see more of what these towers are, if they're connected or if it's a castle or what.
And as you keep advancing, as you're in that clearing, you notice a bunch of magic missiles, one after another, and you count about 7 or 8 of them just fly from one tower hitting the other. And they seem to get really close to the tower and then bounce off at the last minute.
Interesting. I'm gonna make my way to the closest tower, if I can, to get a better view.
Okay. So you make your way into near this tower, and this is a large, spooky tower. It has a dark obsidian stonework, gargoyles sticking out of it, and of course there's all sorts of arcane runes up and down the sides of it. There is one thing that kind of looks like it might be a door at the bottom, but it's standing right. It's right between two very large stone figures.
Huh. Okay, I'm gonna backtrack. Back to my party.
I hope the halfling's alright. Let's drink to her health.
Yeah, she's been gone some time.
I
You
want to
think we
try and
should go and
sneak up
find
on
her?
the party. I wanna scare them.
Okay, stealth check.
Okay.
Up to this point, no one's actually paying attention or guarding. That's why I haven't been forcing these. And just rule of thumb, stealth checks, perception checks, all of that type of stuff should be in the die tower. Most combat is open, but essentially everything other than combat is in the die tower.
All right.
That works. And Kalani, future reference, if you go to the skills tab and actually pull from the stealth, it'll automatically add your modifiers. It's like you have a +7 now. Awesome. That just makes it easier to make sure you have the right modifiers and other stuff. And so with that,
Okay.
you are extremely stealthy. Did one of you guys stay in guard, or are you just all drinking from the keg?
I suppose I'm standing guard.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm
roll a
looking in the
perception check.
direction of the. Okay. Perception.
You don't know a soul.
Of course. Tiny eyes, can't see a thing.
I'm gonna like rustle through the tree branches, and I'm gonna watch them for a moment to see what they're doing.
Back to you
Yeah.
guys.
What was that? I
Well,
think there's something in the bushes.
oh, it's probably just a wild animal. There's plenty around here. But she has been gone some time. Do you think we should maybe go and make sure everything's okay?
Stop worrying, Warlock, and have a drink.
Oh, I don't drink.
More for me then. I'll have his drink.
Just remember, you can get drunk outside the barrier.
Oh, I'm well aware.
I'm a dwarf and this is only wine.
Wine? I thought it was ale.
I thought it was ale as well. I've
It's
been ripped
wine.
off.
It's winey ale.
While they're discussing the merits of wine and ale, I want to like sneak up behind one of them and then like jump on their back and say "surprise" really loud.
Another stealth check.
Okay.
Okay, so she comes dropping out of this tree on top of Soline's back.
Surprise!
Wah! I throw my tankard of ale all over Shore Tank in the process. I jump to my feet, wondering what's jumped out of the tree at me.
I'd like to roll a dexterity and try and catch as much of the falling liquid in my mouth as I can, and not spill my own.
Oh, Galati, what are you doing?
Having
You
fun?
succeed in catching a lot of that fallen liquid in your mouth. I mean,
I'll
several
smack my
cups
lips
there.
and wipe my beard.
Relax, it's okay. I was having a little fun.
It is not okay.
I take
You
it.
just need to lighten up. It's okay. You should drink some wine.
No.
I take it then that there's nothing to worry about up ahead.
Oh no! I forgot to tell you guys that part. So there's these towers, and I think they're having like some kind of wizard duel or something, because there's like magic beams like going back and forth between the towers and deflecting off the towers. And I don't know. It's like someone ruffled some wizard's feather or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
You should come
Well.
see. It's pretty cool.
Yes, perhaps it was a good idea we try to break this fight up.
Well, should we interfere with between a battle of mages?
Well, let's at least go see who wins.
Well, yes, okay, that seems fair enough.
Yeah,
Sounds like
but-
we have drink and we have entertainment.
Wages, let's go.
Okay.
Here, this way, and I'm gonna lead them the path I took to the trees.
So you guys.
Do we need to roll any perception checks to make sure that there's nothing sneaking up on us as we're walking? Or are we happy that the path's clear after Kalani's been?
That's up to you guys.
I think we should keep our eyes open, seeing as the battle was on the move.
Sure.
And trust,
Keep your eyes
trust
open.
Yeah. You're in the lead. You keep your eyes open.
Okay.
I'll try and stop the warlock from shaking too much and giving our position away.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
Should I do any perception check or just keep on moving?
I believe it's your choice.
Oh, I'm asking Pronobis.
It's up to you whether or not you want to roll the perception check. There's stuff in
Okay.
the forest that's interacting, and the question is whether or not you want to see what's going on.
Sure, I'll look around. There we go.
Okay.
I'll take a stop and I'll just look around the treetops and the tree base and see if there's anything interesting around as we approach.
And you see nothing seems to be happening real close. A battle of wizards has scared most things off. But you do notice that this pillar of fire, 10 foot in diameter, surrounds the other tower and seems to stay there. The tower itself doesn't seem all that affected, but there's this large pillar of fire surrounding it right now.
They better be careful or they'll burn the forest down. And I'm gonna point towards the pillar for everyone else to see.
Oh, what beauty.
I'm going to start walking down
Sorry.
this way. Just try and get another look at this tower.
Okay. And the pillar vanishes just a few seconds later. Didn't last all that long.
I would like to wander to the leftmost tower.
Okay. You're heading to the left-on tower? So you're going up to knock on the front door?
Yes, that is my intention.
As you can tell by these map, the towers themselves are only 5-10 feet wide, but they go up a good 20-30 feet. So these are pretty small towers, but they're bigger than the trees. Okay, so the doors. You are walking up to the front door and knocking on the front door.
Well, not quite yet.
Oh.
I will first see if my Eldritch Sight brings up anything, as I have my Detect Magic up.
Yes, yes. Well, the entire tower is glowing with all sorts of crazy magical stuff going on. There's almost every school you can imagine woven into one part or another of this tower.
Okay. I would like to use an Arcana check on the door to see if it is perhaps magically trapped or something before I go knocking on it.
Okay. Into the tower, let's see what you see. Ah, yes. So as you're looking at this tower, you can tell that this wizard is extremely paranoid about visitors. There seem to be several fireball traps woven into all sorts of parts all around the door. They're targeted even by proximity of something coming within even a foot or two.
Oh my. This is dangerous. Are there any on the door?
They're all
Or is it all
over
in front of the door? Oh. Right, and I doubt there's a foot wide space for me to knock, is there?
No, there is not.
Right. I stand aside, cast Mage Hand, and then use that to knock on the door.
And how far back are you standing?
Perhaps 10 feet.
Okay, you're standing 10 feet back from the door, and as the mage hand approaches, it triggers the traps. So 2 fireballs detonate. They have a radius of 20 feet,
Oh.
and they do not decrease with damage. They do not decrease with distance. Fortunately, they're just regular firebolts, but that's still. I need a Constitution save. Two of them, in fact.
One moment while I check something.
Okay.
Right, no, that doesn't. Right, 2 con saves then.
Yes, sir.
Into the tower or into chat?
Open. Okay. First one is a fail. Second one is a pass. So first attack you take half damage, file. So 8 of these. So you take half of 29. No, you take the full 29, and then you take half of this. So I'm assuming you're dying.
Very much so. That would be.
Ay.
I got you! You hear this high-pitched scream from the top. You! I'm finally done! This battle has been won!
Oh, I'm afraid not!
And then you hear a scream from the other tower. What are you even talking about? And you see a bunch of magic missiles flying back in the tower. If not you, then who did I get?
I'm gonna go.
Can I advance and cast
Faster, why
Spare
do
the
you
Dying?
punish me?
Yeah, I'm gonna start approaching and try and get the body too.
You may. I mean, it's not an open combat at this point. So you're hearing some footsteps coming down the tower, and you hear a sliding sound in the tower. It's at the front of the door. It's like, who are you guys? And
Oh dear.
We are passers by! Please help me, I'm in a lot of pain!
So as you're looking at this, you're looking at this green scaled with large snout, and there's all sorts of scars all over her face. She has pretty long hair going down, and she's like, what would passers-by be doing in our forest? Everyone stays clear of our door.
Oh, well, it seems we became a bit curious.
Curious? Well, she now dropped her voice down so it only carries 10 or 15 words. Curious indeed. Maybe I could hire you for help in this duel.
I will bend down and use a cantrip, spare the dying on.
Speaking of
Doris.
Doris, you've been unconscious this whole time. So, spare the
Talking
dying
in his sleep.
keeps you from dying, but you're still unconscious. So stop talking.
He's having a nightmare, like a dog. He's whimpering in his sleep and scratching his ear with his foot.
Okay, so Doris is now stable, but she is still unconscious.
My dog's now sniffing at me and knocking me because he thinks I'm crying like a real dog. Good girl.
Whilst
Just
all of this
say
is
to the-
going on,
Sorry,
Can I-
Sauron, you carry
can
on.
I have a look at this other tower just to get a physical description of this one?
Yes. Okay, so as you're looking at this tower seems to be made of very elaborate stone carved vines creeping up. It's not real vines, but carved into the vines. At one point, you see a fountain of flowing water coming off of it, and essentially, as spooky and dark as the other tower, this is majestic and beautiful.
Okay.
Dwarf, say something to her. And I like nudge him.
I will say to the wizard in the tower, what's going on, what's happening here.
Well, you see, that goody two-shoe is always interfering with my interactions with the people in this area. And so, maybe 5-10 years ago, we started throwing things at each other, and it started with names, and then pots and pans, and finally all sorts of random spells. We've both excelled in words, and no one seems to ever be able to get an advantage on the other person.
Sounds like a stalemate. Perhaps we can settle this score in a more reasonable manner.
It is indeed a stalemate. All I need is a small window. Pass her words, and by golly, would this stalemate be finished? Most emphatically.
Are you a good mage or a bad mage, though?
Well, you can see the power of my weaves and how strong they are. It's quite good. Takes a lot of talent.
That doesn't
Nice.
mean...
Sorry, Claire, you go on.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, can I cast Detect Evil and Good?
You may.
Level 1 spell.
And I need warding on that. Not Shawshank doing that. Check evil and good. Blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead. Okay. So this only lets you detect creatures of these alignments that fall into the categories aberration, celestial, elemental, phase,
Yeah,
fiend, or
I've just noticed that. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that spell off.
Okay. Well, you cast it, so that still costs you your spell slot.
Yeah,
And
I've
now
took
you
that
get
off.
to
Yeah.
find out what you heal. So you do feel some sort of demonic presence in the basement of this tower.
I'll whisper to Kaleni that I can sense something here that isn't quite right. It's not coming from the wizard, it's coming from something within the tower, and perhaps that's what's getting these two creatures to fight.
Hey, Miss Wizard.
Yes?
You know, a good way for us to help you, could we take a while to just kind of rest inside your place and get ready before we lead the assault against your opponent?
You lead an assault? You're not strong
You
enough
said-
for something like that. If you want to help, you need to be more conniving. Figure out her words and make them fail, even for a minute. You need smarts, not power.
Smart is power.
Yes,
Hey, guys,
but
you
how
gotta
would I
come and
know
see
that
this
she
tower.
hasn't sent you to just open up a hole in my rods and let hole in?
While
Do you
Kaleni's
have-
talking to that wizard, sorry, can I follow Solaron? Sorry, sorry, Doris. I'll cast healing word on Doris before I leave.
Okay, and that wakes Doris up.
What's happened here? Why, you monster, turning at this strange-looking creature. What have you done to our friend, Doris? Explain
I didn't
yourself.
do anything. She's the one that walked into the fireball traps. It's her
You
fault.
fireball, Doris?
Bertie! Why does everyone get this wrong? Ah.
Okay, and Shawshank, in the future, when you use a healing spell, it's best to just target someone. Although I can just drag the healing over on top of.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I was getting overexcited there. I'm getting the dice roll.
It's all good. This software is amazing and it automates a lot of this stuff, but we can still always manually override whenever there's a mistake.
Now I'm pissed. Shawshank, you said something about a demon. Perhaps I could speak to it.
It's in the basement. Do you have a way to speak over distance?
Oh, no, I don't. But I have a way of breaking into things.
Considering that knocking with a mage hand did what it did, are you sure you wish to try that?
Oh, I will not do that again. I will at least get some range on it first.
While I'm talking to Doris and filling him in about the demon, how's Kaleni's conversation with the wizard going on, trying to gain entry to the tower for a rest?
Well, there's been no persuasion checks, there's been no intimidation check, there's been no logical appeal, so she's not making any ground at this point.
Well, yeah. If you really want to know if we're from the other side, if you have a spell that can, I don't know, like if you have a spell that can tell if I'm lying or not, 'cause I'm not lying.
I can. I've got quite a good charisma. I could try if I got persuasion. History, insight, persuasion. I could roll a persuasion check and try and get them to let us stay in the tower for the night.
Why would I have a spell about lying? What's the point of such a thing? No,
Well,
I specialize in
you see-
spells that kill my enemies most quickly. And with that, she raises
Well,
her hand and shoots a giant fireball at the other tower that almost hits before dissipating.
You seem a little paranoid. I don't know. Maybe a spell that tells us someone is lying would be helpful for someone like you. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is I'm not lying. We're not here from the other side.
But I have to consider that. Maybe if you can find a magical scroll that had such a spell and bring it back to me, I could study it.
Do I look like a
That
wizard?
seems like it would take too long.
Can I cast
You lady,
persuasion?
let us in.
Okay, see, what's your persuasion?
I'm going to try and persuade the wizard to let us come in and rest before we go hunting across to the other tower, like Kaleni suggested earlier.
Okay. So you have... Okay, so Doris is... What are you trying to intimidate, Doris?
I'm not intimidated, just
You
I'm trying
lady,
to
let
persuade.
us in.
Oh,
Seeing
sorry,
as you
sorry.
just tried to blast me with fireballs, I think it's about as fair.
Okay. And she gets to say... And I'm asking about intimidation because the intimidation was rolled before your persuasion, so it happens first.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
It's all good. That's just why I was asking. And let's see here. That's going to be a wisdom save. Okay. And she seems intimidated by Doris here. It's like, let's not fight. I can sense a powerful demonic influence upon you. It's best that two servants of similar masters work together instead of fighting each other. So she
Oh
swings
yes, I
open her
feel
door.
like that would be a good way of doing things.
So she swings open her door and invites you all in.
Guys,
Thank
are
you
we sure?
for your hospitality.
Are you sure we should be going into this place? I mean, who is this person? The other tower is much nicer.
Well, there's something about a demon in there or something. I don't know.
Well, exactly. Do you really want to pit your wits against a demon?
That's fair. I don't know. I don't know, actually.
Doris is already in bed.
Okay, so Doris is already in the door. Yep.
I think we don't have a
What are you
choice now.
waiting for, mortals? Come in!
I mean, I agree with Solar. Perhaps me and Solaron could check the perimeter before we bed down for the night.
Right,
Well-
while you do that, I'll check out the demon then.
Shh! Don't say it out loud.
Oh, I will say it out loud all I want.
So this is a
Man.
really small tower. So they're on the first floor. Essentially, all you see is this raggedy old bed. Looks like it's never had its sheets washed ever. And it looks like it may have, considering the blood stains and the slash marks, it may have just been taken from someone after they had no more use for it, if you catch the drift. And like I said, it hasn't been washed since then. So, okay, and then you see a trapdoor that you're assuming goes down, and you see a ladder that goes up the tower, and there's several platforms as it goes up the tower, and it looks like the ladder goes pretty much to the top of the tower.
Well, I'll just follow with Doris just to make sure that he is safe.
Are you sure you're trying to see if I'm the safe one here?
I didn't say that loud.
Right, first things first, I'd like to see this demon you have.
Wow, you're just gonna put it all out there, Doris, huh?
You would like to see the demon?
Yes,
Well,
it would seem one of my companions noticed one from the outside.
Just
oh,
tell her
yes.
everything we know. That's great.
Well, you may head down and see the demon if you wish, but I can't say I'd recommend it.
Oh, I'm very persuasive.
Why are you keeping a demon in here?
Well, how else am I going to fight that goody two-shoed unless I call on power that's beyond me?
Holy crap. You see a look on
That's something
Kaleni's
I
face?
can agree with.
She just realized that she's in the bad tower. Oh crap.
So while this is going on, and me and Solaron, under the guise of checking the perimeter, heading back over to the good tower to see if we can find out a bit more information. I'll fill Solar in on everything that we spoke about and heard at the evil tower.
Okay. And so
That
are
we
you
think that-
still working with the demon, or... Oh, this is jump in time, different people, other location. Gotcha.
Yes, so I don't know what they've just said about the demon. I just know that there's some kind of demonic power in that tower, and I'm going to fill Solar in on what we know while we're walking to the good tower, under the guise of checking the perimeter to where we're sleeping for the night.
Okay. So we will get back to a talk with the demon here in a minute. So as you walk up to this tower, like I said, it's a very majestic tower, lots of stone carvings and other things. You notice that there's lots of wardings around it, as well as there had been on the other one.
Hello? Hello? Anybody in there?
Yes? Yes? Who called on my door?
We are just passerbys, and we have witnessed the duel between you and the other tower.
Yes.
But my friend tells me there is a demon within the tower.
Oh, I had feared as much. She is a most stubborn lady. Kalani is... Well, she's not gone down the best of path these last 20 years.
That's a coincidence. She's got the same name as our companion.
The name of the person from the other tower is Kaliann, daughter of Basior. So, very similar but different. I can type it in.
Kalain. Kalani.
So very similar, but different.
I'll say you seem like a good and level-headed person, and I'm a servant of Apollo. May we talk about what's happened here in the past?
Yes, yes, we may. And the door swings open by itself. Come on in
Okay,
and come on up.
we'll go in. Or I'll go in. I can't make up Solaron's mind.
Well, I suppose I should follow.
Okay, so what you walk into is a tower that, although it's beautiful, although the stonework is beautiful itself, it's very sparse on decorations on the inside. There are no wall hangings. There are a couple of bookcases. They're relatively small. There's a straw pallet. And of course there is a ladder going up to a few other levels you can see and the trapdoor going down.
Okay, I'll say
I'm up on the deck where we can see above the trees at the other tower, keeping watch.
I will say, good day, my lady. My name is Shawshank, cleric of the great god Apollo. To whom am I talking?
I am Belula, daughter of Tsepania.
Well met, Balula. Can you tell us what all this is about?
I really do prefer looking at the people that I speak with. Would you mind coming up here so we can discuss this in person?
I'll carefully go up the stairs, but I'd like to roll, see what checks I've got.
It's a ladder, but yeah.
A ladder, yeah. I'd still rather check, just in case.
A wise decision.
I don't really have a great deal that I can check with. Does Solaron have any skills that will allow him to find traps? I've got history, insight, persuasion, and religion.
I can have a look. I will study the ladder just to make sure that everything is sturdy and sound and there is no tripwires or anything else.
Okay. So investigation is looking for tripwires. Arcana would be looking more for archaic runes and what they do. You could choose one, you could choose both, it's up to you.
Okay. Is it not just the basic perception?
Perception would be looking around to see what there is. So there is a ladder,
Right.
there is a bookcase, stuff like that. To be able to see what items are in the room, that's all perception.
Okay. I will use
Investigation is looking
Arcana.
more detail of what do these items do? Is there a connection between this wire and the trap and whatnot? Okay, so as you're looking at the magical runes that are around here, you see that they are essentially all aimed outwards. There's a ton of wards, there's a ton of other things like that. Looking around the room itself, you don't notice anything that's all that physically advanced. It seems really, really simple on the physical level, and yet she's using magic to do all sorts of crazy things. So you notice that, like, the waterfall you saw on the outside, it's just a stream of water being magically pulled up on the inside and then pushed through a hole in the wall.
Okay. It all seems normal, Shawshank. Lots of wards, all aimed outwards to keep things out, I presume, but beyond that I can tell you little more.
I'll take the advice and I'll slowly move up the ladder to the next level.
Okay, so as you climb up the ladder, you pass a few levels along the way, and one has a bookcase with some books on it, another is just empty, and finally you get up to the very top of the tower, which is a pretty open air tower, and you can see that there's a box of a barrel of grain and a barrel of water. So it's meager fare, but filling. And the main view of this is looking out over the treetop to be able to see the surrounding area. And of course, see the other tower quite well. So you can see a good long way from there.
Who was carrying the wine cask?
You probably.
I thought you guys spilled the wine cask and the ale cask and caught as much as you could in your mouth.
I thought that was just a cup that went.
Tankard, yeah.
Yes, that was a single cup. I was rolling it in behind them,
Gotcha.
and
you
when I
stood a
came over
single
to,
cup.
so
Gotcha.
it would have been
So then I'm
perhaps-
assuming the dwarf would have walked off with whatever was left of that cask of ale.
Okay, I'll bow to her and introduce myself again, and I'll offer her a drink of ale, saying that she only has meagre possessions up here.
Say cask of ale is 20 pounds. I've added that to your inventory.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, good soul, thank you for bringing something a bit more substantial. I don't get out of my tower much. There's too much to do. And so she does this motion from her hand, and instead of a cup or whatever else you'd expect, a glob of ale pulls up out of the cask and floats over to her.
I look in wonder at her drinking skills and smile, and then ask her to, when she's ready, to please explain from her side what this is all about.
Well, I grew up in the villages around here, and when I was about 5 years old, I was taken in by a magical professor who also took in the other lady, but she'd been, Kalyan, had been studying much longer. So I was the junior apprentice, but as our master aged, he lost control of her, and she started thinking that because we had magical power, that meant that other people were servants, and things escalated from there. When he died about 5 years ago, he created these 2 towers for us that seemed to match our personalities, and that was his last act, and we've been fighting it out ever since.
Sounds to me like he deliberately set this up to pit you against each other. Was he a cruel master?
He was not cruel, but he realized that he didn't have the power to stop her, and he figured that giving me my own tower and giving the tower that she'd fall in love with and want to keep nearby would give me an advantage to try to keep her in check. And for the most part, our duel has kept her from going out to the villages around here, but it's made a rather boring life for me.
I'll explain to her the conversation that we had about the demon in the bottom of the tower, and our 2 friends that are over there, and we have a standing invitation to go back over there and stay the night. We're now out under the guise of checking out the perimeter, but if she would like to accompany us over there and perhaps slay this demon and free any hold he has on Kalyan, would she be interested in helping?
I'm afraid that if I leave my tower, she would try and smite me as soon as I'm beyond the wards. She's most vindictive, and then the battle would be over. So I cannot go myself, but what I can do is give you a couple of scrolls. One is a scroll of banishment. If you could... A scroll may not be... No, you won't have a magic caster that can use these. What I can do is place 2 wards upon you that you can trigger. One would be a banishment that would send anything nearby, anything with about 20 feet from you, it would try to send to another plane if it's from another plane. The other one would be a very powerful dispel magic. And if you get past her wards, it would destroy her wards. These wards we've built up over 10 years, she won't be able to replace them very quickly. But if she figures out that you're the cause of them failing, she'll be most upset, and it'll take me time to actually neutralize her. So it's dangerous, but do you wish to try such a thing?
To what purpose would you have us neutralise her wards?
Good question.
If the demon is banished, surely there would be no need.
The demon may be where she's getting a lot of her power. But even without the demon, the duel would continue. Because I'm unwilling to use the spells she uses. It may level the playing field, but
I see.
the stalemate would continue.
While she's talking, can I cast Detect Good and Evil again, where we are, just to make sure there isn't something playing two sides here?
So you're spending a spell slot to do so?
Yes, I'll take that off, yeah.
Okay. So as you cast the Detect Good and Evil, you still detect... I think you're in range of detecting the demon in the basement of the other tower. Depends. Does it have a radius of at least 60 feet?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you still detect the demon in the far tower. Besides that, you don't really detect anything.
Okay, so we know that she's talking. I'll just let Solon carry on talking to her while I'm doing that.
Okay.
So you would have us neutralize or banish the demon and then neutralize her wards. But to what end? What would you then do once her wards were lowered?
I would imprison her if I could. It may not be possible, but I would do my best to try.
And if she turns on us, sure, I get the impression that she is a powerful spellcaster. Do you think we would fare long against her? Or will you be able to neutralize her quickly enough to minimize the risk to ourselves?
At your levels, it's a most dangerous thing for you to attempt to intervene in this.
I see.
About these wards, will we be able to cast them? Will Solaron be of sufficient level to cast these?
They would be wards that are placed where when the ward is broken. 1 minute. If you're familiar with the glyph of warding, it can contain another spell inside of it that is triggered when the glyph is triggered. And so I'd set these up so they trigger when a certain word is spoken. So he does not have to have the level, it is based on my level.
I've just made an Arcana roll in the Dice Hub Nobis just to see if she's speaking the truth here.
And that lets you remember a glyph of warding. And this is the spell Magic. And then Banishment. So you have an Arcana well enough that you remember all of these spells and what they do. Whether or not she's actually using them as she says she's using them would be an insight check to see if she's telling the truth.
Okay.
Should we give Doris and Kalani a chance to
Yeah,
talk
definitely.
while we're looking at this?
Okay, so switching back to Doris and Kalani.
Doris.
And guys, if you find a error in the logic of those spells, please let me know. I'm still a young DM, and I do not have these spells memorized.
Doris. I'm whispering at Doris.
What is it?
I think we're in the bad tower.
Oh, I'm quite sure we're in the bad tower.
Should we stay here?
Well, you're free to go if you want. But
Can't
I
leave
must...
you by yourself.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
You got blown away, like, before you got in the door.
Yes, but that was before my master was possessing me. Now, things are different.
I roll my eyes, and I'll keep following Doris. Alright.
So Doris,
So we
you're on the
descend.
first floor, you see the ladder going up, the blood-stained, slashed-up bed, and a trapdoor going down.
Does that trapdoor lead to the demon you're keeping?
Ah, you're asking Kalyan that?
Yes.
Keeping is a keeping is a most generous term. That is where the demon resides that controls most of this tower.
Right. Then I must speak with him.
Enjoy your speak with Otwin the Untamable. He is
course.
a most wild one.
I really don't think it's a good idea, Doris.
I ignore her and open up the trapdoor and jump down. Or climb down,
Oh my
whichever is
gosh.
safer.
Yes, safer to climb down. So you end up climbing down into a, it's the same diameter as the tower itself, so a 10-15 foot diameter chamber that goes up about 15 foot tall. You climb all the way down to the bottom and you start to look around, and all of a sudden torches light all around the room, and you see this towering behemoth above you, 7 foot 10 inches tall. He has interlocking, gleaming red scales. Looking up at his beak-like mouth, you notice his razor-sharp teeth dripping thick drool. His ears are impossible for you to see, but he has these 4 horns sticking out at the end of his long tail, and he has 4 powerful, strong arms. And his right hand arm is this giant battle axe. Who approaches Ortrin?
Oh god.
Ha! You may be the conduit. Lord of your snake-kin companion?
Yes, you mentioned that the Kalani was a snake, wasn't she?
Okay.
Or am I
Dragonborn.
remembering that wrong?
Gotcha.
Right.
I mentioned
Right,
she had
I
scales
fudged the
and a
details.
pointed nose, which are 2 of the characteristics common to Dragonborn.
I call her a snake anyway.
Okay.
She speaks lies with her snake tongue.
Oh, Kalyan, yes. For 15 years, we have known each other. And for 15 years, she has solved her purposes. But recently, she's not brought in much fresh meat. Kind of licks his teeth. Is that why you are here?
No, I'm afraid not. We wish to learn more about this tower, and you seem to be the best source of information.
Yes. About 10 years ago, old master created this tower as a home base for her to keep her in this forest. It's proved most satisfactory for the time. My power has grown here, and soon we will venture forth some more. You sure you're not tasty?
Oh, I doubt you get much of a meal from me.
Perhaps not. You are rather small. Neither of you would make much of a snack.
No, we would not.
But maybe you could be convinced. Kalyan is, busy with her little war for now. Maybe you could be convinced to go and find me a proper snack.
Why not Kalyan herself? You say she has no usefulness to you? Perhaps it is time you end her.
But then,
If I had ventured forth without an intermediary with the world, then adventurers would come from far and wide. They just think it's a rogue wizard. The most powerful ones won't come here. No, I need her as a proxy. Maybe together
Justice, my
you would
master,
make a
make
good
me.
snack.
No, I'm
Where's-
afraid not.
Is that a persuasion roll?
I suppose so. I doubt we'd even sate the most minor of hungers.
With advantage. You're tiny and talking about being tiny. That makes sense. Good thing, too, that one would have been rather bad. You would have been eaten. Okay. Well, maybe you aren't a very good snack. His horn tail reaches around and taps you on the nose. But you can find me a good snack. Go forth and bring one soon, or I may just have to send Callion after you.
Oh God.
He looks away, and you feel like you've been dismissed.
Consider
Oh.
it done.
Okay, I'm gonna go back up the trapdoor.
I will as well.
Doris, that was insane.
Yes, most people
You-
call it that.
You realize that we now have to do the bidding of a demon? That is insane.
Well, wouldn't be the first time for me.
Oh God. Warlock.
As soon as I reach the top of the trapdoor, I produce flame and return to my once chipper self. Where are we?
Doris,
Yes?
what is up with you? You just made a promise to a demon and you seem fine. You should be
What?
extremely bothered.
Oh my master, why do you do this to me?
Who are you talking to?
Oh no one, don't worry.
Ugh. I roll my eyes and I start walking out of the tower.
Okay, guys, have you read up on the magic spells and you're ready to continue?
Yep.
I will turn to Solaron and ask him if he's confident that he could cast these spells.
Indeed, yes, or any one of us would be able to cast them. It is merely a method of delivery, a vehicle, if you will. In much the same way magic is imbued in a potion, it is merely a trigger which we would have to invoke. The worry I have, though, is in banishing the demon, one must maintain fierce concentration. Should one fail to do so for a sufficient amount of time, there is every chance that the demon would return.
Interesting. I feel that these two wards need to be triggered at the same time, so as not to alert. Keep forgetting the name. Sorry, Callian. What we're up to. Who do you think in the party is best to be casting these wards?
Well, the others are not here, and who knows what deal they have brokered. However, I think it would make sense for perhaps you to trigger the dispel magic to bring down the wards. If I was to attempt the banishment, I could then use my abilities to transform into a very small animal, perhaps a rat or something which is capable of running or hiding, to avoid being, well, I could still maintain the concentration whilst in such a form, you see. And if we can last the full minute required, the banishment would be absolute.
That sounds like a plan, and I think that will be well justified in maintaining a watch. I could probably stay outside of the tower under the guise of keeping a watch for other adventurers, and allow me to cast the dispel magic. But how do we time it?
I think it would be better if we all stayed together and perhaps did this in the basement. That way, if there were any other nasty surprises, or if this, what was her name, this Calviani, decided or detected us and came to attack us, I would at least have allies at my back.
True. Yes, I agree.
I think then we should take this lady up on her offer, and then we should regroup with the others.
Okay. And so, you've been talking about all of this in front of Viola, and she's like, so what I'm hearing you saying is that you want me to cast the 2 glyphs on different items so you can have different people using them.
Yes, please.
Okay. I don't have much here unless you want me to cast it on a grain of wheat or something. Would you like for me to do 2 grains of wheat, or would you like me to cast them on something you already have?
Could you cast them upon a copper coin?
I could indeed.
Then that seems as good a device as any. And with that, I will take 2 copper coins out of my pouch.
Cool. And she casts 2 glyphs of warding, as well as a level 9 dispel magic and a level 9 banishment.
And I will hand the dispel magic ensorcelled coin to Shawshank.
Just a question for the DM. When we come to cast these wards, what roll do we do? Or is it just a case of triggering it?
You're triggering it, and banishment, the demon will get a chance to save against the charisma of the caster, which is not the trigger or the caster, so it would be saving against Beula's charisma. So there's always the chance that it will roll a nat 20 and you won't actually banish it. This is not without risk. But it's a high level quest. They give you a heap of XP if you do it successfully. Then there is the dispel magic. That each spell 4th level. Okay, and because it's a level 9 dispel magic, which the fact that she can cast 2 level 9s at the same time should give you a little bit of an idea of her level. Anyway, because it's a level 9, there is no roll for that. It's an automatic clear of all of the spells in the affected area.
Okay, I'm more interested in how I trigger the spell as a level 3 cleric.
Okay.
Will I have to do a roll to trigger the spell? What's my action to trigger the spell?
If you look at the Glyph of Warding, it allows almost any trigger to be set. Because it's in these items, the trigger that makes the most sense for her to set is a command ward. So essentially you just say one ward, it's a very specific ward, and the thing goes off. So what would you guys like her to set the wards to?
I would like mine set to just the word Apollo.
And I'm just going to, rather than a word, I'm just going to set the trigger, if I can, to rub in the coin twice in a clockwise direction.
Okay. That works. So the wards are set, and she says, you may not want to be seen leaving on friendly terms. We should probably argue now.
Just as, before we leave, I just did an Arcana roll into the tower. I just want to double check that she did actually cast those spells and not something different.
You feel an extremely powerful magic in the spells. The hand motions used, or the hand motions you've seen other people use for the dispel magic and banishment, but there was much more power than you've ever sensed to use in those spells in the past.
Okay. Well, turning to Shawshank. I think we're set. Shall we leave?
Yes, I think we can, but we need to discuss our timings on how we trigger these as we walk back. Also we need to how will she know? Will she be able to detect as soon as the magic is gone, and how long will it take her to get there?
Well, the magical runes, they'll go all up that tower, will all vanish when you trigger that spell. So it'll be very obvious. From there, it's a simple matter of a misty step, and that'll be over there. I'm remembering, right? 1 minute, let me actually read Misty Step and make sure she can cast. Okay. Yep, Misty Step. So you guys thinking about what to do, or?
Yep. So,
sorry, I was waiting for you. Sorry. One final question for our for Belua. When I cast the dispel magic, will it dispel the ward from Solaron's coin?
It would. So you would need to be very careful what order you cast them in.
Yeah. So I'll just nod to Solaron and say you're up first.
Okay. With that then, let us be on our way, and I think the ideas of an argument is sound. So as we get to the bottom of the tower and making our way to the door, I will turn and shouting out loud, "We will have nothing to do with your evil lies, foul witch! We will not be part of your despicable scheme!" And walking out in the minute,
Then be
holding the door
gone,
open.
and the best of luck and maggots upon you!
Be gone yourself! And I'll wait until Shawshank steps out of the tower before slamming the door as hard as I can.
Can I, since I'm exiting out too, can I insight to see if they're being, like, if that was really what happened? Because now I'm worried.
Insight.
You're such a darling, Kalani.
That
Me?
Always worrying about other people. So selfless.
Kalani, there seems to be something off about this. Some sort of deception, but you can't really tell what.
I hope whatever's happening is for our benefit. Oh. Oh, hi guys.
Hi.
Group huddle away from here?
Yeah, I'll have a quick glance around to make sure there's no ears that shouldn't be hearing what we're going to talk about.
I feel like I'm left out of this one.
I think with your alignment you should be. We've no reason not to invite Doris along as well if we're doing this. So.
Yeah.
Did Doris leave the tower, or is she still in the evil tower?
First of all, he.
Sorry.
And at this moment, I'd most likely be explaining to Kalane about what the deal I've made with their demon. So I'd be preoccupied doing that.
Yeah, I think we need to arrange to get together here in an area where we're not being overheard and whisper, put our stories together so we all know what's just been spoke about. Do we need to do anything special to make sure that we're unheard?
That's up to you guys. But actually, looking at the time, let's take a 5-minute bio break. I'll stop the recording. We'll get going just here in a minute.
Okay.